In today's Community Close-Up segment, we are focusing on the North Attleboro area.
Yes, today we are joined by Geena Monahan. She is with the North Star Reporter. Thank you for being here, Geena.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. We have a lot to talk to you about, but for anyone unfamiliar with this publication, here is a look at the website right here, NorthStarReporter.com. Now, this paper was started back in 2019, and different than a lot of other ones, it's both print and online. North Star Reporter is full of hyper-local reporting focused on North Attleboro and surrounding towns, and there's a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, we want to begin with plans for development and economic growth in town. Nearly 500 housing units are under construction, and I understand that the town manager wants to balance that with bringing in more businesses and industry too.
Yeah. Well, one of the main problems that we're facing during this budget season is that about 87% of the tax levy in town is by residents.
Oh, that's a lot of burden.
Only 13% to commercial. So the main word that you'll hear the town manager talk about is redevelopment. There's not a lot of new land to develop, and what land there is, we want it to stay that way. But they're passing bylaws right now, a multi-use zoning overlay that would allow for a mix of residential, maybe apartments on top, businesses on the bottom, to try and think of some new ways to draw some companies into North Attleboro and help even out that tax base.
Right, and Plainville's in such a great area that I'm sure a lot of businesses would like to come in. Let's talk about the World Cup, because obviously there's a lot of questions about that, and you just told us that you were at a meeting where there's a proposal on the table to build temporary housing for a lot of possible fans.
Yeah, last night it happened. I'm at Plainville Town Hall, so right up the street from North Attleboro. The owner of a business called Hatch Materials is looking to put 191 temporary RV trailers on his site. 5 to 9 bedrooms, and he could sleep 5 to 9 people. Almost 1,700 people at the peak could be coming to Plainville, which is a town of only 10,000 people.
Wow.
This stretch of Route 1 that it's on, there's been a lot of car accidents there. Right. There are no sidewalks. Board members had a lot of concerns about this last night. Sewer and water capacity. Plainville's a small town. There's homes that abut this property. So some homeowners were there in the audience. They didn't have a chance to speak, but there will be more meetings where residents will be able to voice their concerns.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see the reaction, because obviously there's a need for that. But as you said, Route 1's a pretty busy highway, and in a town that's so small, and all of a sudden to have a bunch of people for not just a week, but for a month or so.
Yeah, June 13th to July 9th.
Yeah.
Not a lot of time left.
That was one of the main concerns too, is that we're in the final stretch here, and to get all the permitting done, and to get all that infrastructure in. Plainville has one little pizza shop downtown. Where are these people going to eat? How are they going to get to and from? There's no train station that will bring these people to and from Gillette. So Ubers, walking. There are no sidewalks on Route 1. So there were a lot of concerns.
And we're still talking about funding for security as well.
Yeah, exactly. we have to wait for March 17th to see if that license is even going to go through. So I think so much is up in the air right now, and you can really feel that kind of nervous energy in the air when these board members are talking about their small little towns that they've lived in forever, and now all of a sudden, I don't think anyone knows what's about to hit these small towns.
You're right. I think you're right. And you're breaking a little bit of news here on Channel 10, which is appreciative, because that idea obviously is going to get a lot of attention.
It is.
With the temporary housing, so we'll look forward to some of your reporting on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Geena, thanks
for coming in.
Geena.
For
We
having
appreciate
me.
it. That was
Thank you.
awesome.
Thank you.